Hey Scrapper Names fans, welcome back to another process video. I have this 12 by 12 video for you. It's a bit of a mix of a mixed media one with a cut file, and I'm doing these two photos. It's kind of now, I think, the Project Life one for this video that goes with this layout. Oh my god, think Amy, think. Has already gone up. It is of a day out to Telstra Tower here. It might have gone up a little while ago. Now, I've had this cut file sitting with me in my little cut file box for a while now, and I haven't found the perfect way to use it. I loved it when it came out. I actually think it's a previous Kitaholic Kits one when I was subscribing or on the design team for them. And it is very flimsy. As you can see, the border of it is very thin, and it's got the lovely corner florals, but I just couldn't figure out a way to use it. So I decided I would just make a go of it and do it now. And as you can see, I am getting a bit messy with this background as well. So I've got this lovely heart stencil from Flutter by Designs, and I am using some texture paste through it just to give a bit of dimension to the background, and obviously a bit of texture. Where have I gone? So I have done all that. I stopped the video so that way you didn't have to see all of that process, but I will have I've put the background to the side to dry. Now this is the extent of my scrap box. It is the tiniest box. I try to go to it as much as I can. It sits in my Alex drawers next to my table, so that way I do not get a massive collection. I had a drawer once before that was in, it was full, and I mean full. It was overflowing. It wouldn't open. It was ridiculous. And so when I rearranged my craft room, I gave the drawer to my daughter because I couldn't be bothered to clean it out. I was hoarding the paper, really. And then I decided to actually clean it out. I think in my last big craft room overhaul, I did clean it out. And I seriously had the most random bits of paper just sitting there, like in that drawer. I was just like, why am I keeping these? Anyway, so that's my extent of my scrap box now. And I couldn't find any papers that would fit the size of my photos. They're not an odd shape, but especially the long one that has the tower on it, it's a bit skinny and long, so it's a bit tricky. So I got this, it's the Horizon. Is it Horizon? Yes, it is the pink paisley, the Paige Evans Horizon paper pad, and it's the perfect size. It's perfect length, just enough width to cover both photos. So I was really happy with that. I wanted to match up with some of the colours that are already in the photo. So there's some blues, there's pinks, there's even some like a grey colour with our jackets, our beanies, there's florals. So I had a bit of flexibility with what I wanted to add colour-wise, which made it really hard for someone who's really indecisive. But yeah, so that was good. And I matted them both the same. I was going to do differently, but I decided to keep them identical. I don't know if I put another layer on. I don't think I do. I'm not sure. This is the part I actually hate in layering because I feel like I never get the even edges. Drives me nuts. Little things, really. And to fit them in the frame, which I still don't actually, you'll see, I don't actually fit them in the frame of the cut file. I layer them, I overlap them a little bit, which is okay because the Telstra Tower photo, it has, I guess, a little bit of negative space with the sky background. So I was okay with that. At first I wasn't, and it was frustrating me because I wanted the photos both to fit perfectly inside the cut file. But you can't have everything. So I survived. Do I mat the photos again? Maybe not. Maybe not. Can't remember. I haven't got the layout in front of me. I'm trying to be a really good girl and not put my layouts, just stack them in a pile on a shelf. I do have like 3 that I've done recently, but most of them I'm filing away fairly quickly. I'm trying to be good in my craft room at the moment and keep it relatively tidy. Not if you're in here now, that wouldn't actually be the case because I'm working on a mini album and it's kind of got stuff spread everywhere. Yes. Alright, so now I'm just going to play around here with my background, which as you can see is just the texture paste I've done in the 2 sort of diagonal opposite corners. So I don't make you watch me dry it completely. Now I do apologise. I didn't realise, I did pause the video to dry my texture paste and then thought I'd unpaused it. And then, yeah, so you missed me doing the whole process there, which I was really happy with. So what I did to create that background, so that you know, with the sprays, was I used 2 distress ink sprays with, I sprayed the background with water first over the texture paste. I then sprayed the dilution sprays, distress sprays, ink sprays, that's right. And then just let them drip down the page, basically. So move the paper around so that it moved all around. I then sprayed them as I needed to with a bit of water so that they would move a bit more freely, and added and mixed and added and whatnot until I got it the way that I wanted. And voila, I was really, really happy with this result. I very rarely get this technique working for me. And it worked really well this time for me. So I was really super happy with it. And now this part was really frustrating. So I did matte my white cardstock background. I ended up matting it onto a piece of pattern paper, which is a piece of Kaiser Craft pattern paper. I think it's from the Misty Mountains collection, because I ended up not using... I didn't gesso my white cardstock, and it is just normal white cardstock, so it wasn't really prepared for wet media. So I didn't want it to go all warpy and potentially like go yuck over time, so I wanted to give it a little bit of extra strength. Yeah, so now I'm just playing around with the Cutfile. As you can see, I'm not the best at being patient with fiddly things. So, yes. So just sticking my photos down, I use wet glue, and I use wet glue for most of the stuff that goes onto this layout because of the really heavy mixed media that's on here. And sticking the Cutfile down, I used wet glue as well. Unfortunately, that did come out on some of my photo a little bit, which was really frustrating. But yeah. I do like the end result. It just was very finicky, and I'm not great with fiddly things. I don't have the most coordinated fingers for that sort of stuff. But anyway, this little heart here is a leftover jelly plate print. I tried it I think I was cleaning my jelly plate one day, and I just whacked it on some craft cardstock. And I have cut out like hearts and circles and little hearts and things like that, punched out some shapes, and this is what's here. It's just sitting on a little plate on my table, and I thought it looked really cool, so I just chucked it on to use it up. And I'm just trying to use up some stickers that I have sitting in a little organizer on my table as well. These are, I think, Heidi Swap ones. Just making a little cluster in the corner just to balance out the floral cluster that's on the side with the Cutfile. And I am really in love with the way that these ink sprays worked out. The pink and the blue just look fantastic together. and on the texture paste, it looked, yep, very happy with this layout. The mixed media side of it worked really well. It's just a bugger. I forgot to press play, so I apologise. But if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments. So just fiddling around a little bit. As I said, just making some little clusters. I don't add a lot because of the background itself. It's quite bright. It's quite busy with the texture paste on it. It doesn't, I don't think it needs a lot. Oh, I came back to this layout. So sorry, the lighting does change. This layout sat on my desk for about a week, unfinished. So I just didn't get time to get back to it, which was, yeah, disappointing, but oh well. My scrapping time just ain't what it used to be. But at least I get there. Where have I gone? Must be looking for something. What am I doing? I promise I'm there somewhere. It wasn't that it's just unfinished to me still rolling the camera. I'm probably looking for stickers or something. Rummaging through my drawers. I think. Hello? Oh, maybe I'm looking for my title. Yes. So my title for this was really tricky to do in that I wasn't actually sure what to call it. What title to put on there, and I knew I wanted to add a title because I wanted to add something above the photo that goes horizontally. I can never remember which is which, but I wasn't really sure, so I think that's what I'm doing actually. I could have swore I edited that out, but yeah, so I end up looking for through all of my thickers, but I didn't end the video properly. So there you go. Now you can see all the photos of up close. I apologise that last bit was a bit dodgy, but now you can see all of the up close prettiness, and you'll see the title that I did anyway and how I ended it. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much again, and I will see you again soon.